You know the feeling. You make a plan. You tell yourself, this time, I'm going to stick with it. For a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you do. Then life gets busy. Your energy drops. You miss one day, and suddenly it feels easier to abandon everything and begin again later. If this keeps happening, you may think you lack discipline. But the real reason you keep starting over may be deeper. You've learned to treat imperfect progress as failure. And once you understand that pattern, consistency starts to look very different. Think about how often this happens. You decide to exercise consistently. Then you miss 2 workouts. You create a better morning routine. Then one stressful week throws it off. You start working toward an important goal. Then your progress slows, and suddenly you're questioning the entire plan. Have you ever caught yourself thinking this way? I already messed it up. I'll start properly on Monday. That thought sounds harmless. It can even feel responsible, as though you're giving yourself another chance. But repeatedly starting over can become a form of avoidance. Because starting fresh feels emotionally cleaner than continuing imperfectly. A fresh start has no mistakes behind it. No missed days. No disappointing numbers. No evidence that you struggled. Continuing is different. Continuing means looking at an imperfect week and saying, this still counts. It means returning to your work after losing momentum. It means showing up at the gym after missing several sessions without trying to punish yourself for the sessions you missed. It means returning to a difficult project at work without waiting until you feel completely focused again. That takes humility. And it takes patience. Sometimes the real reason you keep starting over is that restarting protects you from the discomfort of seeing yourself as inconsistent. But every time you reset unnecessarily, you lose something important, evidence that you know how to recover. Real discipline habits aren't built by maintaining a perfect streak. They're built by learning how to return. So instead of asking, how do I never fall off again? Ask, how quickly can I come back without turning this into a judgment about myself? That question changes everything. Because one missed day is an event. I always quit is an identity. Don't confuse the two. You don't need a new beginning every time life interrupts you. Sometimes you just need the next step. There's another reason starting over can become strangely addictive. Beginnings feel good. A new notebook. A new schedule. A new goal. A Monday morning. A promise that this month will be different. At the beginning, you get to imagine the person you're going to become. But eventually, imagination has to become repetition. And repetition is rarely exciting. Do you ever wonder why this keeps happening to you? You may genuinely want the result while still resisting the ordinary process required to create it. You want to become stronger, but strength requires repeated effort. You want inner peace, but peace may require learning to sit with discomfort instead of constantly escaping it. You want confidence, but confidence often grows after you act, not before. You want progress at work, but meaningful progress may involve long stretches when nobody notices what you're doing. This is where motivation starts disappearing. Not because your goal suddenly became wrong. Because the novelty is gone. Now the work is asking something more difficult from you, consistency without excitement. And this is where self-discipline becomes less about force and more about emotional maturity. You learn not to obey every mood. You learn that frustration doesn't automatically mean stop. You learn that slow progress isn't the same as no progress. And you stop requiring yourself to feel inspired before doing something worthwhile. There is something deeply healing about becoming dependable to yourself. Not perfect. Dependable. When you make a reasonable commitment, you try to honor it. When you fall short, you correct yourself without humiliation. When life interrupts you, you adjust rather than abandon everything. And when progress feels slow, you practice gratitude for what has already changed instead of constantly staring at what remains unfinished. That is how resilience grows. Quietly. Through ordinary decisions that nobody applauds. You don't become a different person because you created another perfect beginning. You become different because, this time, you stayed after the beginning stopped feeling exciting. So the real reason you keep starting over may not be that you're incapable of consistency. You may simply have mistaken consistency for perfection. And those are not the same thing. Consistency includes difficult days. It includes interruptions. It includes mistakes, changing circumstances, low motivation, and moments when you have to find your way back. Your progress doesn't disappear because you stumbled. And you don't have to return to zero because yesterday didn't go according to plan. Practice patience with the process and responsibility for the next step. Keep your standards, but leave room for being human. Let self-discipline mean returning instead of punishing yourself. Let resilience